Family, it's brother Coasty at IALLG.com, and today's conversation is all about disagreeing. Disagreeing and disagreeable are not the same thing, family. This is very important. It's learning how to communicate with people, it's learning how to express, and it's also learning how to be assertive without being aggressive or domineering, right? So on a very simple level, I don't have to agree with you and that be the basis of our relationship. I cannot agree with you and still like and love you. I don't have to, but I can. And you have that same power. A lot of people will base their whole relationship off of the present conversation. And I don't mean the current status of the relationship. I mean literally the current conversation, right? So you may say that green is the best color and I might say blue is the best color. We don't have to agree. And just because we don't agree doesn't mean either one of us is wrong or that we should end the relationship. There are certain cases where certain things that you disagree on can lead you to say, you know what, I probably should leave. But that's not every conversation. That's not every topic. You learn how to pick and choose your battles. That's something I had to learn the hard way. I'll say it this way. I've won a lot of battles, lost more wars. So understand that you can disagree without being disagreeable. You don't have to attack just because you don't agree. You can learn to just let bygones be bygones. Be like, hey, you know what? That's your approach. You're not right. You're not wrong. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. These are just our opinions, right? So disagreeing does not mean disagreeable, right? Disagreeing on a point does not mean you need to be disagreeable in character, right? Just because you disagree a point does not mean you need to have a disagreeable in your character. It doesn't mean you need to disagree with their character, right? So the point is not always the character of the person. Some situations it can go hand in hand, but not all situations. A lot of, you know what they said, right? You know, more than one way to skin a cat. I was going to write that out, but I can just speak it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So recognize when you're in conversations where there's multitude of options, and recognize conversations when, I'll say it like this, recognize conversations that is talking about approaches and recognize conversations that are talking about outcomes. All right, so that's going to be the biggest thing, right? So disagreeing is all about approaches versus outcomes. Look, family, if y'all are disagreeing on outcomes, that's a different conversation depending on what the outcome is. But if you're just disagreeing on approaches, just let it go. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You have your viewpoint. That's it, family. So just be very aware of that, right? Of not going from disagreeing to being disagreeable, and pay attention to the conversations when they're about approaches versus an outcome, right? And some people might say they're tied, but look, if y'all both agree on the outcome, right? So you both want to make a community center, and one says I want to take out loans, and one says I want to fundraise. It's okay to not agree. It's okay. Look, business is a different conversation for business, right? But just understand the point. It's okay. There's different approaches. You're going to get the same outcome. It's all right. You can let bygones be bygones and not turn into being disagreeable. But look, if your outcome is I want a community center and the other one says like, well, I want a jail, that's different conversation. Different conversation, right? So I'm just going to let you all know when you're disagreeable, that's typically on the root of an outcome, right? You become disagreeable when you see the outcome as detrimental or hurtful to yourself or the population that you're attempting to serve. You're disagreeing typically when it's in relation to a point, right? So just keep that in mind. Let that digest. Love you, fam. Peace.